at him. You think you're so funny being in the washing machine. You guys are so weird. What are you doing in there? What are you doing in the washing machine? You think this is funny, guys? Look at this. Look at them. They think they're funny hiding in the washing machine this time. I don't think so.
Hi. Can I take him out? Can I touch it?
You think you're funny. Well, hello there, guys. Nice to see you out of my washer. If you're new here, my name's Kevin, the Stoic Reseller. I am a part-time eBayer, part-time YouTuber, obviously. And I buy and sell used clothing and resell it online. What makes me slightly unique as opposed to other YouTubers is I'm a part of a group that tries to find alternative ways to succeed on eBay outside of the normal talking points. Namely, we try to gain the algorithm and not use promoted listings. That's the goal. We don't want to pay eBay any more than we have to. And whether you agree with that or not, it's irrelevant. So this video, however, is going to show you I would say some of the highest sell-through brands for clothing that you don't need to promote. If you're promoting these brands, you're just losing money. You've already lost prior to listing it. So let's get right into it. This isn't going to be a what sold. It's not going to be something I'm going to be very candid with you. All right, guys. These are going to be clothing brands that are going to be somewhat difficult to find. So let's get started here. This is a very, very high-end brand. Grease Point Workwear. This is the only item I've ever found. I encourage you guys to look up their website. This shirt isn't available any longer, but sold brand new for $250. Now, when you get into items that are that expensive and are sold out online, there's an obvious demand for it. The jeans for this brand were selling very high. That seems to be their bread and butter. But yeah, I mean, this shirt was in pristine condition. I struggle sometimes to understand why someone would donate something like this. But, you know, beggars can't be complainers, I suppose. So yeah, here's the logo, guys. Grease Point Workwear. This is a brand that is going to sell itself. So something we're going to do now is I'm going to bring up... Don't pay attention. Nope. That's not what we're bringing up. Bring up eBay. And what we're going to show is the sell-through for each item. All right, so you can see here, Grease Point Workwear. Now it's going to have some other things here like Grease Monkey and ASOS. These are not relevant to the search, okay? So we really want to show you guys is look at the brand here. And it's just in a generic men's clothing. That's good. And let's just hit sold. Bam, 11. 9 available, but look at the solds. This is an item, guys, that clearly demands high dollar amounts with a very high sell-through rate. This is a brand that is so rare that, I mean, some of these pre-owned is going for, you know, best offer $349, brand new $220, pre-owned $150. Pretty standard, guys. And as you can see, I'm really the only one that had a shirt. So, moving on. Let's go to Rewin. This is a brand that is sold primarily on Huckberry. I'm sure you can get it elsewhere. I do know they have their own website. But Huckberry is a great place where you can just research very expensive brands in general. But Rewin, let me see if I can get a better picture of the tag for you. It's very recognizable. Has this red bird on it. It's just a men's fashion brand. It's really in demand right now. You can see that this was the flyweight flex blazer for $149.97. I did take an offer of $130. So let's go back here. Let's go to we're just going to do a generic Rewin, just in men's clothing. $824, since I deal mostly in used. $636 on a generic search. Oh, that's solds, guys. $244, almost a 3-to-1 ratio of actives to solds. And even if let's go to buy it now. Yeah, there you go. This is a brand that will command a significant price. I sold 2 shorts recently for $45 and $50. I mean, and for shorts, guys, if you're not in the realm of clothing, if you sell shorts for that amount, that's pretty good. Most shorts don't go past $35. All right, let's move on. Another outdoor brand. This is Fjällräven or Fjällräven. I'm gonna struggle pronouncing that. You can roast me in the comment section. But here's the logo. It's going to be denoted with this fox, that little red fox next to the logo. This is a fairly rare brand. This is sold at like REI, places like that. They do have their own standalone stores, brick and mortar stores, and you can buy their items online directly from the manufacturer. The issue with these is it's pretty rare. I've only found maybe 3 or 4 items total. And I live in the Pacific Northwest, where you're going to find a lot of these high-end outdoor brands. So let's look here. We're going to do just a generic search here. Just Fjällräven clothing. They are better known for their backpacks, if you're curious. But let's see, just in men's clothing. That's what I primarily sell in at pre-owned. That's kind of what... Oh, that doesn't make any sense. Just Fjällräven men's clothing. There we go. Condition pre-owned. So you can see there's 1,400 plus items. Mostly jackets. They are very well known for their jackets and pants. I think they're probably one of the highest quality of those items out there. Far above Patagonia. I would say slightly above Cool in some of their performance pants. But there you go, guys. This is a product that's pretty saturated, right? 1,100 items, 1,500 solds. And look at the prices people are commanding for jackets, for sweaters. Here's a puffer for $90, another jacket, best offer $180. This is a brand that is going to consistently sell for a high dollar amount. Every item commands a very strong dollar amount. And it doesn't matter what it is. If you are finding this and listing any item under $50, you're also losing. But this is also a brand that you don't need to promote. This is a very, very high-end brand, guys. And if you are promoting this item just to get a sale a day or so faster, you've lost the battle. So let's look at a women's brand. Frank and Eileen, their pants and their shirts, their tops, are excellent sellers, guys. So here's a pair of pants that sold for $120, and you can see, like, they're very basic, but they're made, most often they're made here in the United States. You can see here, made in USA. If you watched my video from yesterday, you're going to notice that I mentioned that I focus a lot on items that are made here in the U.S. That is for me personally. This shirt I'm wearing here is Origin. I have a lot of their clothing. I have a lot of Duckworth clothing. That's also an American brand. Frank and Eileen is an American brand as well. I believe they use imported material, but it's all manufactured here in the U.S. And I think that's really important. When you see this made in the USA, that normally means it will command additional money. I have found that items made in Japan, made in South Korea, and made in Canada typically command much higher prices than really your everyday clothing made in Vietnam or China, obviously. Vintage brands made in Hong Kong also command quite a bit of money. There's not very much being made in Hong Kong anymore, and now Hong Kong is basically China, and most of the Chinese stuff is just garbage. I'm going to be very candid with you. Most items made in China are just trash. Now there are outliers. 10,000 is a brand that's made in China that is very high quality and stuff like that. I mean, there's always something that is a contradictory to my statement, but I would say the vast majority of items made in China are just typically made to go straight into landfill. So here's the logo for this, Frank and Eileen. Very basic looking brand. You're going to find their shirts most often in the men's because of how the buttons work, being on the opposite side of a women's. So let's filter out as sold. And we're just going to do a generic search here, Frank and Eileen. If you're pushing this into the men's category, guys, you're doing it wrong. Whoa, look at this lady. She's definitely trying to sell that item, isn't she? What is going on there? That lady looks very familiar, honestly. Pre-owned. And let's see. We're going to do all because they don't really have men's clothing. 2,200 plus results. Let's see what the sell-through rate is. Solds. 19. What was so we had 2,200 or 2,100 and 19. So not exactly 100% sell-through, but guys, look at the prices. So with any brand, you need to know the specific style. I'll show you here where I found the specific style. Most of Frank and Eileen will have this style name right on the tag, right on the materials tag. And this is something that you should be doing for every clothing item, is trying to find the exact style name, because without that, you're not going to get the right amount of money. The most you can increase, honestly, the profitability of an item by upwards of 30 to 40% if you have the style name. If you were to do just a generic Frank and Eileen pant, raw hem, straight leg, you're going to get like $60. I got 105, if I remember correctly, for this. It's worth the time. It's worth the effort. Sometimes brands make it super easy on you. All right, now this next item is going to be more or less a style of clothing. So you can see here that it's Mountain Hardwear. Mountain Hardwear is not a, how do you say, it's not an uncommon brand. You find this everywhere. Everywhere I go, especially where I live, you find this little nut, okay? People are nutting all over the place. This nut is everywhere. And it's not, I mean, it's just an outlier of Colombia. If you know what Mountain Hardwear is, it literally is produced by Colombia. And I also find Colombia literally everywhere. You can't search more than 5 pieces of clothing without coming in contact with Colombia. But to get off the tangent there, this is considered a cargo tactical kilt. Okay. I also was able to find the exact style code, which you can see. Oh, this didn't have it. I just searched kilt. This was the only kilt Mountain Hardwear made, so it was easy to find. But here's the logo if you're curious. And, you know, it's a very interesting genre of clothing. Almost all of them have a great sell-through rate. I don't have, it's really hard to look up comps for this. I will, however, show you my favorite cargo kilt or whatever. It's a almost kiltum. Oh, come on. Let's see here. There we go. Oh, it's damn near kiltum. Sorry. This is my favorite brand. Now, you're going to get decent money if you find it, probably around 35 to 40 bucks most often. But the name is just great. Damn near kiltum. Anyways, I digress, guys. Let's move on. So if you don't know, tactical kilts are a very high sell-through rate item. And some of them just command a lot more than others. So make sure to do your research. Here's maybe not a so uncommon brand. I think people typically know Ralph Lauren. And I think they know the high-end versions. Ralph Lauren hasn't has been around forever. This is double RL. Now, there is some caveats to this, guys. It had some flaws. It had this mark here, and the button was cracked. Noted it here in the description. But this brand is so strong that I still got $84.97 for this, plus shipping. Guys, double RL is it's probably the second highest label of Ralph Lauren. Now there are outliers, like if you find the Indian head Ralph Lauren, you've just literally found the holy grail of Ralph Lauren. You're probably going to get upwards of $700 to $800 for an Indian head jacket. That's probably being conservative with the price. But when you're looking at Ralph Lauren, you need to know that this label here is going to command a lot of money in almost any item of clothing. This label here just straight means money. A lot of times it's made here in the United States. This one was made in China, so here's one of those outliers. But there are brands that command certain quality of their clothing. And, so even though it was made in China, the level of quality of this garment is so superior, it's irrelevant where it was made. But you will find that this brand is made in the United States quite often, and those pieces do command more than the pieces made in China. If you look up a flannel, double RL flannel made in the United States, you're looking at $150. So just so you guys know, when it comes to where items are made, a lot of times it does matter. Here's a great brand. I have a short when I first started on YouTube. It said, if you find this bunny, this means money. And it still rings true. I find this sparingly. Being located where I am, I probably will find this more often than most people. Just because I live in the Pacific Northwest, people typically like to wear more performance gear. And this is probably one of the highest end performance gears you can have. The logo looks like this, Tracksmith New England. A lot of their stuff's made in Taiwan, stuff like this. Very rarely is it made here in the US. Now, what's interesting about this brand specifically is they have just about everything you can ask for in a performance line, and all of it sells. And all of it sells for a very good money. And as a reminder, guys, this is another brand that you do not need to promote. So let's just do Tracksmith for men. Buy now, conditioned, in pre-owned, right? We have 159 total listings. You can see some of the prices. I mean, just for a long sleeve shirt. Now, if you've never found this brand, I hope you can find it, because touching this made me want to buy this item. The fabric of this is so elegant. It's just like a polyester spandex blend, but the way it's spun and put together is just like it's so premium. It's ridiculous, and it's why this shirt is sitting here at $44.88. So we have 159 items, 474 items sold, and this is why I think if you have a blanket promoted policy in your store, you're just losing money. You're giving money to eBay to do nothing. When you find items with over, just a brand, not even items, a brand with over 100% sell-through rate, guys, it's irrelevant how much you promote. You could promote that bitch at 100%. It doesn't matter. You're still going to sell it within a day or two. For reference, the one I showed you here was just a quarter snap. Someone offered me $70 and I took it, and this sold, if I'm not mistaken, it sold within literally days of me listing it. I'm fine sitting on an item for a few days to make $70. And if you're going to come into my video and comment below saying that, well, if you would have promoted it at the 11.7% that it suggests, it would have sold within a day. Yeah, but you're paying 11.7%, or 5% is what I used to promote. It's like, why would I pay 5% of $70 for an item that took one extra day to sell? There's no level of competition that's worth that cost. So keep that in mind. This whole video is about items that do not need promoted listings. The next item here is Chrome Industries. Here is the label. This brand, I believe, is based... A lot of what I see is it's based out of San Francisco, but I also believe they have some branding and items sold straight out of Portland. But anyways, so this might be something you find more often on the West Coast, which, you know, you guys just need to find the brands that are more commonly in your area, and you need to learn them. You need to understand them. Look at their websites. Find out what is more expensive. That's all about reselling, guys, is brand knowledge, product knowledge, and material knowledge as well, especially in clothing. This was a merino wool blend jacket. I believe this only took, I would say, only a couple days. Again, someone offered me $68. A weird offer, but I still took it. Chrome Industries is another performance line. So let's do this. So let's go Chrome Industries. There we go. Clothing. In the men's category, pre-owned, buy it now. There's 156 sold listings with 82 listed. And you can see the prices for this stuff. My recent thrift trip, I got really lucky. I found at least 6 pairs of the performance cycling shorts. Let's see if there's any listed. I'm actually kind of curious about that. I don't see them. Oh, there's 2 pages. Let's see. I don't know. They're very simple. But I mean, you can see some of their shorts don't command a lot of money. But, I mean, you see the sell-through rate, guys. And honestly, this is where I believe most of these shorts are going to sell. It's right in this $44 range, $45 range. But their jackets are really good. Their jeans do okay. But this is a secret brand that not many people know about. I mean, obviously, you can see here the velocity. There's only been under 300 total items in the last 91 days. And... it does really well. I don't understand why people, this maybe had some flaws, but this should have been an $80 item. The jeans, that's some decent wear, and that's probably right. Chrome Industries, this right here, I guarantee you, this guy just probably wanted to get rid of it. There's no way you should sell this jacket for $10. But, maybe... you take this, you look at some of these, and you go over here and snipe some of this stuff. I've thought about that too, but I just don't have the time to spend on eBay to source on eBay. But Chrome Industries is a brand that I am very high on, and it's not a very well-known brand. This is a brand that I also would not promote because you can see there's just not a lot of it available. And so if someone's wanting something from this brand, they're going to find it, guys. You can see it under 90 listed. There's 82 total listed in men's clothing. And not all of it's the same stuff. There's a lot of jackets, there's pants, there's shorts. So, you got to do your own research. But this is a brand I'd pick up unconditionally at the right. And I would even pay up to like $15 for this, guys. So, moving on. We got 2 more. Here is probably... a brand most of you have never found. The only reason I know what it is because I found this. And this item literally felt like the best piece of clothing I have ever touched in my life. And for reference, I've probably touched hundreds and thousands, if not millions of articles of clothing. And you just know, once you've touched a certain amount of items, you just know what something is going to feel like. And this was one of the most, I don't know, it was very hard. It's hard to describe. And it just, I don't know, it was just wild. This is still sitting in my shop, just for clarity's sake. And I may have overpriced it, but I'm getting a lot of attention on it, okay? so let's go over here. Mission Workshop, men's. Condition of pre-owned. It's important. So we have 56 pre-owned Mission Workshop pieces. And this is like the first item I showed you guys with Grease Point. This, I believe, is also based out of San Francisco. And you can see the items are all mostly priced over. Like, this is insane. Here's my item. Not promoted, by the way. You can see what I'm only a few down. Kind of odd, huh? But these people here, where I saw some sponsored items. Where did I see those? Like these guys here, they've already lost the battle. I mean, this is way overpriced in my opinion. I don't know. That's just my thought. You know, I don't know how much this guy's sponsoring, but this is a cool little crossover. Taylor Stitch didn't make it into my list, but Taylor Stitch is an awesome brand as well. And so I guess you take Mission Workshop and Taylor Stitch and you get some awesomeness. But let's see what's sold, huh? So we have a total of 56 items and 67 solds. Over 100% sell-through rate. I mean, look at a straight polo. A merino polo sold for $90. You know, like, I wish in brim and wool. I mean, I don't know about that. There must have been that seems like a lot. But like a pair of shorts, sold for $50. You know, you have just a shirt here, 65. Some pants, 100. Guys, oh, here's my listing. And what's odd about this is this had a flaw, didn't I? Yeah, you can see here. So this right here, the zipper, the tab to the zipper broke, and I couldn't do anything. I still got $45 for this, guys. So, you know, it's just another brand that you don't have to promote, like, not even in the slightest. If there's people promoting this item, like I just showed you, they've already lost the battle. You know, and isn't that strange? We go down to now to 59 items, and it's like these two items just randomly popped up. I don't know what's going on, but, you know, here's $65 for shorts. You got 10 watchers. You know, I don't take a lot of stock in watchers, but you can definitely, the one thing you can take in stock from watchers is just, what are people looking for? You know, people are looking for this. This may be overpriced, so they're watching it to see if they get a discount. But, you know, that's what I'm looking at, guys. That's pretty wild, huh? And so the next item, guys, and not everything has to be secret brands. The one thing I really want to stress is brand knowledge. Brand knowledge is, I mean, it's probably the most important thing if you're reselling. And that goes for really anything you do. That goes for hard goods. That goes for media. That goes for clothing. If you don't know what you're looking at, you're going to lose out. One of the things that I kind of pride myself on, I guess, I mean, I'm not an expert by any means, but I do know more about this brand. And I can spot this brand better than I would say most people. There's a lot of people that pass this brand up, and I don't know why. So the next item is something you should all recognize. This is Nike, guys. And you can see here, this is Nike Lab X Sakai. This is the Fashion Tech Fleece skirt. And this is a very rare item. Sakai is not a cheap brand. If you wanted to buy this new, you're looking at maybe $150 to $200. I saw some Grailed comps, some, you know, all those other sites that saw high-end Nike had this listed as well. And I'm showing this to you because it's a $100 item. It hasn't sold yet because it's the middle of winter. But the fact of the matter is that this is so unique. There's not a whole lot of them available, and there will never be more of these available because Nike, when they team up with certain people like Sakai, there's only so many of these made, okay? And when they are produced, they basically sell out right away. So I didn't know immediately that this was Sacai, but I had the wherewithal to understand that this felt different, this looked different, and typically with Nike, it's worth looking it up. If it feels like quality, looks like quality, and it's different than something you've ever seen before, odds are it's worth looking up. Nike, for instance, you just have to look underneath the material tag, and the 6-digit code right there under the L, A02250, that is the style number. The last 3 is the color code. And I always tell people, if you want to learn Nike and you want to get to a level where you're not having to search up everything, start searching up everything. And I'm dead serious. Because once you start touching Nike and you start looking up the comps of everything, you start to learn with your fingers, with your eyes, with how it looks. How over time you will immediately learn that what is worth buying is basically what I'm trying to say. That's how I felt this. I was just flipping through, felt this. I looked at it, it was Nike. I was surprised because Nike doesn't do a lot of this, this kind of stuff. I mean, this almost looked like some lingerie, I mean, they don't do that very often. So it was like, okay, you got to look this up. And it's worth just doing that because over time you're going to get an affinity for what is worth looking up and what is worth just passing on. I do this all the time, guys. I just want to show you how many active Nike listings I have. So we're going to go here. I have in my store currently 69 active Nike listings. Here's Matthew Williams, just golf polo. It's $80, and that's pretty cheap for that. Here's something I found at Ross. Here's Nike Jordan Public School. Who would have picked that up? Here's some, and then just other stuff, guys. There's some duds. This was a mistake. I didn't double check it, but hey, I used to sell shoes. Vintage Nike, guys, does really well. You have to be careful with Nike because not all of it's worth anything, but you just need to have the wherewithal to know what you're looking for. So you can see that. Let me go to my orders. Oh my gosh. Paid and shipped. And we'll search by Nike in here. And I'll show you how much money I've made in the last 90 days on Nike. You can see here, there's 80 items of Nike. I feel like I'm doing okay with Nike. The highest dollar amount is this puffer vest. So here's some Nike pants. Here's more pants, more pants, more pants. A jacket, pants. Just look at the quality that Nike can present to you guys. And you just have to know what to get. If you came across these pants or these tights, would you have grabbed them? I don't think you would have. But look, I had 2 of the same exact one used, and they both sold for between $35 and $40. That's pretty wild, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what to tell you. If you're not willing to put in the work, but you're willing to promote, you're doing it wrong. We've had some interesting conversations in the comments that you have to learn how to sell an item before you should promote. And part of learning how to sell an item is just learning what the item is, what it's actually worth, and whether or not you need to promote the item. I have plenty of items in my store that most likely don't need to be promoted. But we're almost done here, guys. It's gone on long enough. I hope you've looked at this and got a breath of knowledge. I'm going to show you 2 bonus picks. If you're curious about this one, this is just sorted high to low. This is probably the holy grail of Patagonia. They have another line called the Deep Pile chinchilla rhythm jacket. I found one of those a long time ago and it sold for $600. But this is the Mars reversible, only available to the military. If you find this, it's worth a lot of money. Now, it hasn't sold. I've had it for a while, but it's worth every penny of this. And someone's going to come around and buy it because you're not going to be able to find these very often. There's very, very, very few of these. And then the last item I'm going to show you guys is Arc'teryx. And the reason I want to point this out is because you can see my price. It's a puffer vest. And you're like, man, that's really expensive. But it's got the violence. That's a really good crossover. And the nice thing with Arc'teryx specifically is the newer, more modern stuff is going to have the title name. As you can see right there, the Conduit LT Vest. It's also very important. Arc'teryx has the ability for you to take pictures and send it into their quality team, and they will verify the item for you. And so in here I have it stated that it's verified. Let me look here. Where is... God, I wish eBay would make it easier for you to see... Oh, here we go. See, I put in here, has been verified directly from Arc'teryx, meaning that they gave me an email, and I saved it in case anyone asks about it. They verified with 100% authenticity that this item is real. You need to do that. When you get high-end items like this, you need to try to verify it. And fortunately, Arc'teryx will do it for free. Other brands, you'll have to pay a service to verify it for you. Some markets, eBay will do the verifying for you as well, like high-end shoes, watches, purses, which is a nice feature. But yeah, guys, let me know down in the comment section. What are some secret brands that you have? Do you agree or disagree with my statements that not everything needs to be promoted? And in fact, I don't promote at all. And let me know down in the comment section. Remember, guys, like, subscribe, and until the next video, rule the day.